Hello, world, and welcome back to the Glen Alex Show. Hi, I'm Glen Alex, licensed clinical social worker, the wealth counselor, and author of Living in Total Health, the 2021 Indie Book Award winner for health and wellness. And Living in Total Health is available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Please visit glenalex.com to order your copy. My life's work is about health, and I am on a mission to help as many people as I can be joyful, connected, confident, and complete the life experience we call wealth, WELLTH, which is health plus other riches. And I firmly believe that those living in and pursuit of total health on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels will right the world's wrongs, will end isms, and will end violence in all forms. So please join us on this path so we all can make humanity as great as it can be. Thank you. On each episode of the Glen Alex Show, we focus on a different aspect of health. And I wanted to focus on manifestation in this episode because I think it's really important for everyone to understand how we bring things and events into our lives. And that does include elements of health. And so I am so excited to welcome Neo Positivity to the Glen Alex Show. Hi, Neo.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Glenn. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for making time. I appreciate it.
Definitely got to contribute to the universe every single day. So, this is my major contribution for today.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Now, with a name like Neo Positivity, you have to introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Nehemiah Davila, specifically. That's my first and last name. But once I was a police officer and I was running around doing all kind of crazy stuff, I kind of developed the name Neo, which is the first half of that. And then after I discovered the law of attraction and retired shortly after, I started to come up with this kind of philosophy, I guess you could say, a mixture of the law of attraction and all of the religions. It was crazy how I put it together, but that was neo positivity. But then it just became a stage name, so I accept it.
Well, it fits you. It fits you.
Thank you.
So tell us how you discovered the law of attraction.
Well, I was a police officer in Camden City, New Jersey, and my ex-partner, he told me about this movie. He said, "Listen, they make all the CIA guys watch this in the academy. You have to see it." And I'm expecting some SWAT team, crazy movie. Was actually The Secret. I know you're familiar with The Secret.
Yes.
And I was hooked. Within the first couple minutes, my life had completely shifted.
Seriously?
That's all it took. From there, I needed to know more. I was looking for those answers, though.
Okay.
I manifested, just like everybody does. I manifested The Secret into my life because I got really thirsty for those answers. And I knew I had the confidence to get it. I just didn't know how I was going to get it, where it was going to come from, because this is stuff you don't learn in psychology in your local university or sociology or any type of those things. You have to specifically find people who are specializing in it. And back in 2008, it wasn't that readily available. So I took what I could get and I ran with it.
Okay. Well, and you're right. They don't tend to teach these things in traditional education, which is a shame.
It is.
Because it's the foundation of how life works.
Thoughts should be a subject in school. It should be. And meditation should also be some kind of subject or something that they have to do every day.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Now, you mentioned being thirsty and manifesting the secret into your life because you were looking for those answers. Is that part of manifesting is being thirsty?
Yeah, I mean, once you have a goal, you're thirsty to complete it. You're thirsty to check that off. And my goal, I've always been that kindergarten counselor. I've always been the person that people come to and share all their secrets with, and they come to for advice. I just didn't know where that was going to take me in my life. I was a cop. I wasn't going to go back to school and get a psychology degree and try to help people that way. And I don't really agree with most of the medical field and how they practice and dollar signs and insurance. I don't agree with all that anyway. Like I said, I was not going back to school. And so it became a thing where I'll just learn it. But then all of a sudden it became I need to know it. I need this right now. I need to know what's happening next. Being a cop, helping these people was great, but I want to help people on a massive scale. And it was that thirst. It was that energy that attracted the movie The Secret into my life at that time, and just going from there.
Okay. So after the thirst and after attracting the secret into your life and getting some of the answers, what was your next step?
Well, I went to YouTube. Well, even before that, I knew from the movie that you had to get your mind in order. You had to get some kind of better control over your mind than you currently have. It's just running rampant. And this is, if this is when you're at that point right before you learn about the secret. And I know the brain is a muscle, it has muscle memory. And the only way to train a muscle for a weightlifting competition is to lift crazy weights. But if you're training your brain to slow down, you have to practice slowing it down. It makes sense. And by definition, that's meditation. So that was number one. Had to learn how to meditate, what it was all about, and have it have that impact on my life that it did. And then from there, it just led to the next steps. Oprah Winfrey talks about a book that she sleeps with on her nightstand. It's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Okay.
She said in one of the first YouTube videos I saw after seeing The Secret, she said that in the first chapter, she highlighted so many lines that she just put the highlighter away. Every line was that critical. And I found myself doing the same exact thing. The book is amazing. A New Earth is the part 2 to that. So, of course, it incorporates everything that has plus more. So if I had to suggest something to read, I'd suggest that. And then that just spun off into a bunch of other audiobooks, I should say, because I'm not big on reading. And practicing. I always say I'm a professional trier. Like I try different things. I call them mental exercises that I do every day, but I keep trying new ones. And the ones that work, I keep. The ones that don't, I scrap. And that's all I did. And that's all I've done since 2008, for the last 14 years, is try different things, keep what works, scrap what doesn't, perfect what works, Next week, perfect what works, study more, run it through other people, and just get better at this whole law of attraction thing.
Okay, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. And I'm glad you mentioned trying different things. I have clients who they just want an answer, they want a how to, they want the right answer, they want the one that works, and I'm like, that's not how it works. We're
Mm-mm.
individuals, we have different circumstances, different needs, different responses, different mindsets. So you must do something. If that works, continue to do it. If it doesn't work, do something else. So they don't like to hear that. They want the answer.
They got to think about it like a car. If I teach you how to build a carburetor and you're amazing at it, but then your radio stops working on your car, you don't know what to do. You don't know anything about wiring. You might get shocked. You don't know what's happening. So there's different aspects to your life, and what you've been through would be all the different things about the car, the motor, the transmission, the radio, the air conditioner, the motor that rolls up and down the window. You have to learn all of it if you want a complete fix. And it is hours worth of teaching. So yeah, I definitely get the same thing with my clients when I was taking clients. But at the end of the day, there is a catch-all be-all, and that's you stay positive, you stay confident, you see it as though it already happened, and no matter what the universe shows you, no matter what the universe tells you, no matter what people say to you, disregard all that. Someone says you can't, that's just a door closing. And And that's kind of the formula for anything you want. Just kind of keep seeing it, marinate in it, but you got to actually believe that it's going to be there. There's a lot of other different mental exercises that I learned and created that you can tack on top of that to make all these techniques stronger and more impactful. But at the end of the day, anything you want in life is achievable through the same type of formulas, which is staying positive and seeing it and seeing it and seeing it like it's going to happen. And taking inspired action is a huge part of that too. When you get that inspiration to go, to make the phone call, to send that email, get up, do it, leave the house, watch what'll happen.
Okay. So thoughts become things, how do you approach someone who is either poverty stricken or just have a run of bad luck continuously, just have all these negative events in their lives that don't work out so well for them? They're always going to think, well, this is bad, this isn't going to work, what's wrong with me, that kind of stuff. How do you approach someone like that in order to shift their mind to believing that they are co-creating their reality?
I like to use relationships as an example here. And I do that on purpose because if I can give you a relationship scenario and you can apply it to money, then you can easily apply it to everything else.
Okay.
Um, Guys used to come up to me, especially in the, my cop friends, and they're like, my wife and my girlfriend this, and she doesn't cook and clean anymore, and she doesn't talk to me anymore, and we don't do the things that we do, and it's just not the way it used to, and I'm just not happy in my home life. And I always say to them the same thing. Man, it seems like you've been thinking about that a lot, haven't you? And they're like, yes, I'm thinking about it all day long while I'm at work. It's consuming me. I know I got to go home to that. That's my home life. And I'm like this. Thoughts become things. You've been thinking about that an awful lot, haven't you? I suggest you change what you're spending a lot of your time thinking. I like to use fear as a technique to get people to do their mental exercises too. That's a huge one because if I get you to try to change, you might try some things like dieting or different type of whatever. You might stick with it, you might not. But if you're driven by fear, you know, if you're driven by fear, you're not going to walk down that dark alleyway anymore because you know what's been happening down there the last couple of weeks. Fear is going to make you check yourself. And if you fear your negative thoughts to the point that when you feel them, you're like, whoa, whoa, let me get out of that. This is literally 100% screwing up your tomorrow and your next week. Every single thought you have like that. So when I can get you in that mindset, then I can get you to start waking up more and more to those type of mindsets. That way you manifest differently. And then to someone who's like poverty stricken, I would stand behind that and I would say, listen, you're going to try these things and something small is going to happen. You're going to find $1, a quarter. It doesn't matter. And you could pick it up and say, it's just $1. Or you could say, I just manifested that. Imagine what else I can do. Those are two totally different ways to look at that dollar or that quarter or that penny that you just found on the floor. And I suggest you obviously go with the other one. And then there's some money techniques that I do on top of that. But like I said, you got to attack it from multiple angles. And since everybody's been through different things, you got to attack them from multiple angles to make sure you break through whatever mental barriers they might have blocking this great information that you're instilling onto them.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
We go hard around here.
Yes, you do. Go hard or go home. Um, so it's interesting you use the example of a relationship rather than just jumping right to money, because I saw something on your website that really caught my attention, and it actually said peace before money.
Mhm.
Explain that.
Well, first of all, money doesn't even exist. And I hate to say something like that because and lose everybody. Oh, this guy with the woo woo hippie talk. Scientifically speaking, everything that exists is just vibrating energy waves. One big vibrating energy wave. You're just vibrating at a different frequency than I am. So is this desk, and so is money, and so is a thought, and a cloud, and air. We're all just one wave vibrating. So for me to seek something called money that exists outside of me is for me to seek. It's a fool's errand. It doesn't. Everything that exists is the energy wave. So the money is a part of me already. For me to go looking outside of me is a lost cause. And so once you wrap your head around a bunch of these different, because money's a big one. There's a bunch of different ways that I look at money that have allowed me to release it from my life, as far as like, a negative thought or a limiting thought or something like that. But that's just one of them. So cross the money out right there. Excuse me. It's already with you. long as you have a penny, God money, God monetary is with you already. You need to strengthen your relationship with that. But here's the deal. We all know that at the end of the day, I can give you all the money in the world and you could buy everything you want and take care of your family and businesses and change the world and everything like that. But if your family and your life is hostile, you're not happy. You want the peace. That's what you think the money's going to buy you. Peace of mind because you have that Lamborghini and that big house and that big bank account and your family and everything is taken care of. And yes, it sounds like that would be a peaceful life, but it's actually pretty hectic. Most of the millionaires I know really don't like their life. They don't. So if you and money, out of everything I've manifested, everything I've been working on how to manifest, money has been the hardest one because it's hard to see yourself as a millionaire if you've never been a millionaire. It's hard to see yourself with that unlimited reach when our whole lives we've been taught limits. You can only reach so far. You can only scream so loud. Like as a baby, you come out with these limits. So since money's the hardest one to go for and it's going to take the longest to get, why don't we get everything else? Live a peaceful life. While we're living peaceful, then we manifest the money collectively. So do that one first. Trust me, it's a better way to go. That was my path right there. And I am not a billionaire yet, but I have been retired for the past 14 years. I wake up when I want, I go where I want, I eat what I want. I don't exercise, I don't diet. The only real thing I have to do every day is take care of my 4-year-old, and watching him grow is the funnest and most amazing thing I've ever done before. Instilling the law of attraction into him the best I can. It's just been a great like project. So peace, 14 years worth of peace. If I'd have went for the money, I would be 14 years in still going for the money to get the peace.
Yes. Yes.
Instead, I've lived a peaceful life.
And you're rich because of it. You're
100%.
absolutely rich because of that. So you said something that about getting the money, not being used to the money, and then not having the money anymore. And that brought to mind all of the lottery winners who win these big mega bucks and they go broke within a couple of years because I guess part of them manifested the money, but they didn't manifest
Lifestyle,
the
keeping it, any of that.
lifestyle, the intention, that kind of thing. So that's really interesting. People ask for money, and a lot of people ask for what they want. They might get it, but they don't know how to respect it, appreciate it, keep it. So that was very interesting. And
Relationships, exactly
relationships,
what
yes,
you just said,
yes,
define is how a lot of relationships go.
yes. So tell us about thoughts become things is your business.
It's I actually got it from the movie The Secret, so it's just a saying, but it's so powerful. I had this one lady, Emily LeTran. She says it's not thoughts become things; it's thoughts are things. And I get it. Yeah, thoughts are things. So is this desk. That's not impactful. Nobody's gonna hear that and get get deep with it. When people see this shirt, they come up to me. I love that shirt. My father taught me that. I've seen that movie. I've read that book. We start conversations. And that's just the people who come up to me. The people who don't come up to me, they're getting it. And I know at some point later on that night, something happened that upset them, and they remembered the shirt and say, "You know what? Let me not spend my headspace here." And that's all I want. I wear this shirt. I wear this shirt every day. I've got a ton of them hanging up everywhere in every car and they're everywhere. And that's for that. I want to be a walking billboard for this message. I don't own this message. My company is neopositivity.com, and that's written on the back of the shirt. But this is the message I want everyone to get. And you know what? It comes with a level of respect too. People see this, they respect you more. They're like, oh, he's a deep thinker. Like, yeah, my grandparents talked about that. And so, yeah, you get it's like a whole package. So I love wearing a shirt. I love spreading the message, and I don't have to pick out my clothes.
Bonus.
Bonus. You got to hit it from every angle, man. I'm telling you.
Now, you mentioned having that saying everywhere. Is that part of manifesting what you want is uh, repetition?
Oh, it's everything. Listen, you get out of things what you put into them. If you went into the gym and did 10 curls on your right arm and then walked out, how much healthier would you be? Not very much healthier. And if you sit here in your chair and say, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich 10 times and go about your day, you can't expect to be rich by Tuesday. That is not how this works at all. I have over 54, I think 54, 55 alarms set on my phone, reminders set on my phone a day that will vibrate. It's real non-invasive. It's that's it. It's not like do 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 do. And I'll hear it and I'll either do a mental exercise like say yes 10 times or thank you 10 times, or I'll actually look at it and it'll be a specific message, an affirmation that I want to say. And so I have those set up. I have reminders all around my house. This tattoo is a reminder. If you look up on the wall, there's poker chips that say thoughts become things, stay focused. But just as a reminder, you feel that in your pocket, let me do my affirmation. And then same thing, I got wristbands that say the same thing. You're driving down the highway, someone cuts you off and you're ready to cuss them out. You look at that and you're like, let me not spend time. Maybe that person protected me. I wasn't meant to be at that red light at that time. They might have just saved my life and I'm over here mad at them. And it's
Mhm.
it's those type of things that that's a different type of mentality that you get from these practices. You see things differently. But yes, repetition, repetition, repetition is everything in this art.
Okay. And also part of this art, I know intention is huge. In
Hmm.
So how important is it to be emotive when you are stating what you want, when you're thinking about what you want? How important is it to be emotional in that process, or is the intent, thought, repetition enough?
Emotion. I put it to you like this: when you have a thought, it travels down your spine and releases from your lower back like an energy wave. And that thought then travels across the entire universe, not just Earth. Now, the third law of motion demands that every action has an opposite and equal reaction, which means the universe has to do whatever it has to do to make that thought travel back to you, opposite, and be thought again, which is the equal reaction. So that's the process as far as thoughts become things. You send out these thoughts. However, if there's no emotion behind it, I call it a hollow thought. You're just sending out like a bubble. But when you strengthen that thought with emotion, love, fear, anger, happiness. Now you're giving it fuego. That's where it comes in. So emotion is 100% necessary. Otherwise, I'll venture to say you're wasting your time. That's why when people walk around, I love life, I love life, I love life. And they say that 10 times on their lunch break and then 10 times more on the way home. And they don't really love their life and they're not going to because they're not in it. You have to be engulfed in this. Like, not to get too graphic, but it only takes one thought to spark an erection. It only takes one thought. You don't really have to be there. Therefore, the body doesn't know the difference as long as you're in it. So
Okay.
get in it and stay in it. The ego is going to be the biggest hurdle. Like from this book, the ego is going to step in and say, no, you can't. No, you haven't. No, you won't. What are the chances? And that's
Why
why I
bother?
made Yes, that's why I made that my a major area of focus. As soon as I started to get heavy into law of attraction was the ego because the voice wouldn't shut up. Like
Mhm.
remember I said I started with meditation. Now I knew that was the first thing I had to do. As soon as you start meditating, the first thing you're going to notice is a voice, one that you don't like and one that does not stop. That is the ego. So yes, I'm going to say 80% of what I've come up with over the last 14 years as far as mental exercises have been to deter or back down the ego enough to let you sit in a headspace long enough to manifest something. I call it watering seeds. Like every time you have a thought, you're putting a drop of water into a plant.
Uh-huh.
I like my job. I hate my job. I like my spouse. I hate my spouse. Different. You're putting drops in all these flower pots all day. My kids, that Facebook post, and majority wins. Plants that get the most nourishment grow where there once was nothing. Now you got a plant sitting there looking you in your face. That's when that manifestation becomes physical. So be careful what plants you water.
Okay.
Hold that
Okay.
analogy. That's what really got me through. That's what really made me want to be better at the law of attraction. Like I always wanted to be better, so maybe I shouldn't say that. That's what really changed the game for me. It was tough. It was a battle. My mind was going da 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 da, wouldn't let me meditate. But guess what? That water and seeds analogy, when I would catch myself in a negative headspace, I would say, man, I've been watering that seed for the past 15 minutes. I
Hmm.
need to do at least 16 minutes watering a better seed.
Yeah.
Set my time. Let's go. And then I
Yeah.
make believe. Playing make believe is one of the biggest parts of this too. 100%.
Say that again.
Playing make believe. I like to call it that
Like
because that's what
make
we called
believe.
it as kids. Playing make believe is a huge part of this. Put that, make that a daily phrase for yourself. Make believe, playing make believe. You're doing it anyway with every thought that you have. You know, whether you're thinking about bills or work or whatever, you need to play make believe, but do it in a better direction, in a direction where you want to be. Play make
Okay.
believe to your future. And like I said, every thought you're having anyway, you're playing make believe. Why not make them count?
A good point. Good question. And in playing make believe, you, you must focus on what you want and not what you don't want.
It can't be lack. Lack manifests lack. If you're
Mhm.
playing make believe, which a lot of people do, I gotta pay rent. And that's lack of rent money. My car's crappy. That's lack of a good car. You're watering those lack seeds and manifesting a future of more lack. I don't care if you got shelter, you got something to appreciate about having shelter. If
Mhm.
it's cold, it's keeping the snow out. If it's raining, it's keeping the rain out. If it's hot, it's keeping the sun out. You can appreciate shelter. And guess what? The only way you can possibly upgrade your house is to appreciate your current house. That's why most people don't upgrade their houses too often, because they're too busy complaining about the things that are wrong about their house and their spouse and their cars and their job and their kids and da 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 da.
Boy, we sound like some whiners, don't we?
We are. You know, it's I bought a golf cart recently, and I love my golf cart. It suits a lot of things. And this guy rode by in a better golf cart, and I was just like, "Stop it, stop it!" It's just us, man. I look. One thing you gotta understand about the law of attraction, everybody, is not going to change you as far as like you'll be a more positive person. But I'm from the hood. I was a cop in the hood. I still have hood thoughts sometimes. They just don't last as long. My brain is a muscle, has muscle memory. My brain does different things with those thoughts. Sometimes before those thoughts even get a chance to play out, before I even realize I'm there. That's how you need to program your brain to eliminate the negative thought before it even starts. See it coming, catch it, and shift it. That's where you want to get at. So you're still going to have those thoughts, just like bad stuff is still going to happen and emails are going to come in that you don't like. So you find ways around them. That's the thing. Move in the system. You try to combat the system and go against it, it's not going to work. You got to move with the system, like the ego and all of the bull crap that it does. Find ways to cheat that system and you win.
Okay. Okay. Now, we've talked a lot about manifestation on the individual level. I am also very, very interested in collective manifestation with keepers of the light, people who spread light, who spread love, who spread health. Uh, how can we, even if we don't know each other, or we're not geographically close, how would it work to collectively manifest peace on earth? You know, respect for difference and tolerance of of people who are different than us and have different beliefs and ways of living.
It's it, man, the answer to this is such a stab, a dagger in the chest for me, because I'm actually working against myself on this one. But we got
Okay.
to see it. We got to see it better. When I look at the current state of the world, I feel bad about it. Like, man, I wish I was contributing more. I got this great information that I want the world to know and change their lives and collectively manifest, da 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 da. And me right there, that's a feeling of lack that the world is great. And so I'm manifesting more of these problems in the world by even thinking it, let alone saying it out loud.
Even if
So
you're not perpetrating those things.
it just takes a thought with an emotion.
Okay.
Every thought you have, 60 to 70,000 thoughts on average per day per person, gets sent out, like I said, and each one is accompanied with a special level of energy. whether it be good or bad, high or low. And once you send out that thought, like you could have, let's say you having the intention on saving the world. One of my friends I do a podcast with, his intentions are saving the world, which is great, but his podcast is pure negativity all day, every day. What's wrong with politics? What's wrong with the cops? What's wrong with white people? What's wrong with black people? What's wrong with everybody? What's wrong with everything? He's got like a bunch of shows, and everything is all. But his intentions are good, to enlighten people so they can avoid these things. But daggone it, when you watch one of them shows, you come out feeling like you hate the world. Like, yo, we need to step it up. And so, yeah, I mean, intentions are cool and everything like that, but you got to watch where you can have great intentions and still screw things up. I want
True.
to hit collective energy wise. I want to leave you with this. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I've been to their training camps. They don't drop passes at training camp. They are perfect. They look amazing in practice. But when they get in the game, now all of a sudden they dropping everything. And that year we had Nelson Aguilar. He was dropping everything, but he didn't drop anything in practice. That's collective energy. The entire country, everyone who knows or ever heard of the Eagles, expects them to do great, but screw up in the end. And that's what we do. We do great, and right in the end, we drop just enough passes to lose the game by 1 second. That's collective energy. That's collective manifesting in a negative light. And that's everybody's expectations. Some people don't even care about the Eagles. Some people don't even care about football, but in the back of their mind, they heard a long time ago that the Eagles choke at the end. And so every time they think of football or every time they think of the Eagles, they're watering that seed. So you got to be careful. You can't be blasting your bad news on Facebook, because every time these people think of you, they're thinking negativity, and they're giving you that. They're manifesting a negative future for you, basically, because you set it up that way. You gave them something to manifest about you. So don't blast your negative energy on Facebook. You don't want people to know about your personal BS anyway. So for those two reasons, just don't do that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Note to self.
And that's I can't even enjoy Facebook. I get in Facebook, I post, and I leave. And that's why. As soon as I scroll down, there's a female showing me a picture where she's got a bruised eye from her boyfriend. Why are you still, I can say I can say a million things about that, but don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Drama, like boss. Why spread negative? If you're gonna spread something today,
Spread
make it some
positivity.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it some light.
Okay. Okay. My
I
mind
told
is
you we
just going
go.
all over the place. This is pretty deep stuff. Um, so given all that we've talked about and your work day in and day out, what is can you narrow it all down to one nugget? Just the one most important thing you want to share with everyone.
One would, if it's something, it would just be thoughts become things. If I had to put it into one, that just sums it all up. Be careful where you spend your headspace. There's a few other things, like get out of your comfort zone. If something seems like it's out of your comfort zone, but I'll just put it to you this way: my 2021, the biggest lesson I learned was get out of my comfort zone. Every second I spent outside of my comfort zone, I was being thrusted out of the atmosphere, as far as population, cash flow, energy, positivity, the way people see me. My life was just improving in all areas: health, wealth, love, and happiness. Those are the 4 pillars. So get out of your comfort zone, and repetition, 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 repetition. When you wake up today or when you go to sleep tonight, ask yourself, how bad do I want it? And you're going to say, I want it real bad. And then ask yourself this question: how many mental exercises did I do today? And that is when you're going to really see how bad you want it. When you
Okay.
say, oh man, I only did 2, that's how bad you wanted it today.
Okay. Okay. And are there mental exercises on your website, or is that what you
Yes,
teach in your summit?
I actually have a subscription. It's an email that I send out 5 days a week with a different mental exercise every day, because we're humans. We get used to things. That car you're driving was the bomb when you got it. Now it's just a car.
Right.
Same with your house. And when you do these mental exercises, like if I do the yes affirmation, which is I'll say yes 10 times. By the third time you say yes, you should be smiling no matter what's going on in your life, just because that's what happens. And by the fifth or sixth time you say yes, your brain will start throwing at you reasons to say yes, yes, yes. And so it's really great. It's uplifting. You're watering a great seed. You're spending good time in a good headspace. People see that. Your kids see that. They want to be happy too. Their friends see that. Now you're rippling out. It's all around great thing, but that'll get old after a day. So you need something else. Um, like I have this thing where, you spend the whole day just picking out things that you deserve. I deserve that dream house. I deserve that exact car. I deserve that purse. I deserve that paycheck. I deserve that relationship. And because these aren't lies, because if it was a lie, your ego would step up and say, no, you don't. Like when you say, I'm a billionaire. No, you're not. No, you're not. Hit you with a bank statement. No, you're not. Um, because the I deserve is an accurate statement, you really feel like you do deserve these things. Your body lets you sit in that headspace. Your ego lets you sit in that headspace, let you water that seed more and pull that thing closer to you. So this is 43, I think, different mental exercises that I send out 5 days a week. So you won't get the same one within 2 months. And they're all great. So when you see one you haven't seen in a month, you're like, oh, I remember that one. That was a great one. So that's that. And in the summit, in the summit, we talk about everything. The summit is just a collaboration. For 14 years, I went back and forth interviewing one person at a time, and we give great ideas. We birth new ideas in the interview. And the summit is just a collaboration of a bunch of ideas and a bunch of people. And I love it so much. The next one is April 16th. We're doing it the third Saturday of every other month. So April 16th, and then we got one coming in June and August. So yes, everyone sign up for that, neopositivity.com or neosloasummit.com. And mental exercises all day, every day. If you're going to work out for 2 hours in the gym on your body, you should do at least 2 hours on your mind.
On your mind. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Neo. This has been really fascinating, and this is one of my favorite topics. I can't tell you how many people I interact with on a daily basis, and I'm saying, stop thinking negative. But I don't. So anyway, thank you so much for making time to be here. I hope everyone signs up for the summit. I know for sure I'm going to sign up for your exercises so I can get those. And thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for having me on. And thank you for being what I call a soldier in the war on negativity. Doing what you do, spreading the word. And like you said, catching your loved ones being negative because you love them and you know it's
Yes.
screwing up their future. These are the soldiers that we need. And one thing I want to add real quick. Most of the world doesn't know about the law of attraction, or they don't believe in it because of the negative stuff that has happened. My summit is free for that reason. If we're going to change the world, we need numbers. And if 85% of the world can't afford to pay $1,000, how are we going to get them? And
Right.
so I make my summit free, my website free, all the information, everything I do, even my speeches are free because this needs to get out. So please share, share, share. Thank you guys for listening. And thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. You be well, okay?
You too. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you again for tuning in to the Glen Alex Show. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Refresh your spirit with a nourishing thought.
Please allow me to leave you with this nourishing thought. Napoleon Hill said, keep your mind fixed on what you want in life, not on what you don't want. This is a very simple yet super important distinction in manifesting what you want. You see, the law of attraction is all about where you focus your energy, what you pay the most attention to, for that is what you will attract. So if your focus is on what you lack and you wish to not be poor, or you wish to get out of this house, relationship, job, then you are more likely to find yourself in the similar situation because you're attracting the same. because that is what you're focused on. So if you do get out of that house, that relationship, that job, because you focused on that which you did not want, you will find yourself in a similar situation next time. It's counterintuitive, I know, yet this is how the law of attraction works. If you're always thinking about what you don't have, what you lack, then your energy will send out feelers to attract more of the same. Your true desire must be conceptualized in the affirmative as if it already exists. And you are just in a holding pattern, just allowing the universe to unfold and bring to you what you do want. Just like the universe unfolds and bring to you what you don't want because you're simply focused on it. So this is the foundation of the law of attraction and manifesting what you want. And again, your true desires must be conceptualized in the affirmative as if it already exists. For example, if you don't want to be poor and you're always thinking about being poor, shift that, reframe that to, I have an abundance of money and resources. And the universe will send you more. This is the first step of manifesting what you want. There are other steps to take to solidify your manifestation process. And to learn more, please visit glenalex.com, read my blog, and remember to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, be well.
Your health